Okay. All right. Good afternoon, family, friends, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a informative speech on hair restoration. I myself chose this topic because I'm worried about potentially in the future losing my hair, and I don't want that to happen because I love my hair. It's part of my identity. Some of us are lucky and have nice, beautiful beards. Not all of us do that. So for those of you that can relate to that, there are options for you. So I'm going to talk about the significance of hair. So for a lot of us, it impacts our identity, our personality. Not only that, but for some cultures specifically, we use our hair to identify ourselves and our ethnic backgrounds with different hairstyles. For those of us that do lose our hair, sometimes it can lead to anxiety and depression and feelings of low self-esteem. So, why does hair loss occur? Most of you already know that hair loss can be genetic. Makes sense. Not only that, but high stress levels can increase our possibility of losing our hair. Hairstyles is a big one. So for a lot of people, they use hairstyles that are tight on their hair, like buns and ponytails. And with that, you'll see breakage of the hair and thinning of their hair. And a lot of women like to dye their hair different colors because, they like doing stuff like that. So that stuff can damage your hair, lead to hair loss and thinning. A big one as well is hormonal imbalances. So for women, this could be an example as of pregnancy. Your hormones are all out of whack. Menopause is a good one. Thank you, Mom. Another one is for men, as we age, we usually start to lose some of our testosterone. And there's a hormone specifically that we create. It's very hard to pronounce, so I'm just going to use this abbreviation called DHT. That hormone right there, it blocks our hair production in our head. So for men, a lot of the times, that's why we start losing our hair. So there are some natural steps to prevent hair loss. I'll get into the medical ones later. But to prevent hair loss, you could make sure to eat right. That's important. Eat right, take your vitamins, supplements. You guys have probably heard about biotin, where it's hair, skin, and nails that helps your hair look nice and healthy, shiny. Make sure to eat a lot of high protein and iron. That'll also make your hair look nice, shiny, and healthy. Not only that, but make sure to cope with stress. So if we have a job that's really high on stress, we're always on the go, make sure to do things you enjoy, hiking, hanging out with family, fishing. Meditation is a really good thing to do to lower your stress levels. Really important. Try to avoid hairstyles that pull hair tightly, like buns and whatnot, and limit harsh chemicals and treatments on your hair, such as bleaching or perming. Those are natural things we could do. Now, if those natural things aren't enough and we're still seeing hair loss, there are medical interventions. So I'll talk a little bit more about these in the next slides, but first of all, there is follicular unit transplantation, otherwise known as FUTs. There is follicular unit extraction, otherwise known as FUE. And there are medications. Usually the most common ones you'll see is finasteride and minoxidil. And additionally, there is mesotherapy. So let's talk about FUTs. This involves cutting a piece of your scalp, known as the donor area. They gotta cut out slices called grafts. They're gonna poke holes in your head where you see the thinning, and the doctor's gonna place these.
Wow.
So it looks kind of nasty. They cut out a scalp of your hair, like a scalp of your head right there. And usually by the time it's healed within a year, the scar will be really thin. It'll be about the width of a hairline of a hair. And these give pretty good results right there.
That's a great difference.
It is a good difference.
Nice.
So the next up, FUE, similar to the FUT, except without cutting a portion of your head. So there's no scar there. Doctor's gonna poke holes and individually take out those grafts or donor hairs, and then we're gonna place them into the areas that you see balding or thinning of hair. Again, with this one, you don't have a scar. So this is good for those people who usually have fades or haircuts where you could see the back of their head, because you won't see a scar at all with this one. So the medications, again, usually you see finasteride and minoxidil. Oftentimes you'll see these used in combination because they help each other. Finasteride, it blocks for men that hormone called DHT, the one that stops hair growth. Additionally, there's a good side effect for this because its main reason of use isn't for hair growth. It's actually to reduce inflammation in your prostate. So it's a double whammy, 2 for 1 right there for men. There's also minoxidil, which is, again, mainly used to lower your blood pressure. So it's really good for lowering your blood pressure. Additionally, with doing that, it increases blood flow. And with that, it can increase the blood flow in your areas of thinning of hair and hair loss. So finally, there's hair mesotherapy. And with this one, the doctors make a concoction, I would say, of supplements and things that are good for your hair. They're going to inject them into the places of hair thinning. And then just like dermaplaning, they're going to poke needles into those areas onto the top of your head to really get those liquids and concoction in there placed really well. Again, though, the thing about this one's not necessarily used for people that are bald in specific areas. This is more so used for people who experience hair thinning, such as this gentleman right here. You can see the before, where it's thinning of hair, you see parts of his scalp, and then this one, you see it nice and full. So this is usually used for people with hair thinning by baldness.
Nice.
So my closing remarks on hair restoration. For those of us who are worried about possibly losing our hair in the future or are currently in the situation, there are options. Rather, if you want to do natural remedies that reduce stress, or you eat right, or you want to take medical actions such as FUT, FUE, or a combination, there are options for you. So again, I wish nothing but the best for you guys in your hair journey, and thank you for your time. The end. And I'm gonna show my audience here. So here's my audience. And then we have one on the phone right here, so that counts as a 5th. And thank you so much for your time.